Hi, Midlife Goddess here. I'm going to talk about something that is interesting, an interesting thought, and I would like anyone who watches this to please give me your take on, will this work in this day and age? And back in the day, people used to just withhold sex, and that's how they would get someone to marry them. They would find someone they like, and then they'd be like, I'm going to be so great in bed, but I'm not going to marry you unless, or I'm not going to have sex with you unless you marry me. That's what they would say. They would withhold. And in this day of TikTok and Tinder and porn and Hinge and all of these things, does it make sense to not have sex with someone? And will that lead to a permanent relationship? Now, I think that there's potential that this could work for both men and women, and I'm going to explain why. When a woman goes out with a guy and he tries to sleep with her right away, I am pretty turned off, and a lot of the women I know are very turned off by that too, because it doesn't seem very interesting. It seems kind of boring. It's not original. It's not original anymore. To have casual sex, it's not original anymore. And everyone, I think, not everyone, but a lot of people are kind of bored with variety, right? Variety is like, okay, you've had every pack of the variety cereal in that variety pack, and you're bored of all cereal now because you've had too much cereal. I mean, I think that it's kind of like, I don't mean to compare people who sleep with everyone they meet on their first, second, or third date cereal, but maybe. Okay, but when a guy, when he is slower to seduce you, that lost art of seduction, that Robert Greene talks about this, and a lot of people talk about this, but I think Robert Greene talks about it really well because, number one, Robert Greene is not some gorgeous guy who's a pro at seducing women. Robert Greene is a little dorky with glasses, and he's a pro at seducing women, right? And his things, his tips, his rules can be effective for both men and women if you want to be seductive. So definitely worth reading. I mean, it has to be natural and authentic for you to do anything and make it work. You can't be someone you're not. But when a guy authentically is more mysterious and tries to get into your head and connect with you well before sleeping with you, it's much more seductive. And a rule that pretty much all women have that I think guys maybe don't know about is if a woman wants your clothes off, she'll take them off. So if ever you're a man and you're making out with a woman, do not start unbuttoning your own shirt. Do not take off your own pants. If the woman's not undressing you, she doesn't want to undress you. Period. Sorry. And as a woman, do not start taking off your own clothes. You might get away with it a lot more as a woman, but I would say in an across the room sort of way, not a right up in front of them sort of way. Don't remove your own clothes. That's the person who you're with's job, and if they want your clothes off, they'll take them off. That's how you'll know. So, withholding sex. We're gonna get back to that because this is a crazy thing, but I'm gonna tell you a story. A woman I know quite well, she got divorced in her mid-40s, and she wanted to get remarried, and she wanted it to be a guy who had never been married, didn't have any kids. Well, yeah, she didn't want him to have any kids. She wanted him to be sort of a clean slate, and she wanted age appropriate. And I was like, guys that age who've never been married and don't have kids, because a lot of them, even if they haven't been married, they have kids, but most are going to be divorced. She did not want somebody who's divorced. And I was like, she is asking for so much with this age-specific parameter and never married, no kids. She's going to have to give up on something. And as you probably know, if you've watched my other videos, I think the easiest thing to be flexible in is age. It's the easiest thing, especially for women. If you're open to dating guys who are younger than you, you'll find that you have a lot more options than if you're strict with the age group. And I mean, obviously, everyone knows that you can, as a woman, easily date older. And for guys, not every guy likes older women. So, and some guys like older women in a weird, kinky way. Don't want that either. But not every guy likes older women. A lot of guys are only going to like younger women. And some of it is just simply that they want to be admired. They want to be the boss. They want to be in control. They want to control the finances. So maybe a younger woman doesn't have her own so much, and it puts them in that position of power, which they like, and it makes them feel more secure. Another thing is that maybe some of these guys who specifically want to date only younger women, they feel sort of an ego boost about it when they tell their friends, oh, hey, I'm dating a girl who's 26, and they're like, 56. Now, is that girl genuinely attracted to them? We don't know. Does that girl have her own finances in order? We don't know. I have my guesses, but either way, that's sort of what they prefer. And guys like that, a lot of them are friends with dudes. They're dude guys, they're like kind of fraternity-ish or some sort of large organization kind of guys. Anyway, so a younger guy who tells his friend, yes, I'm dating not a girl, a woman, and his friend is impressed, they're probably a different type of guy, maybe more creative, maybe more intellectual, maybe more of a sigma type, not just an alpha, but a sigma means like a person who's productive and beyond an alpha, someone who doesn't care about other people's opinions, a real trendsetter, a visionary. That's a sigma. Anyway, back to withholding sex to get married. So this woman found a guy through her priest, and they fell in love rather quickly, and they got married. And I have to say, she gave up an amazing alimony setup. The kind of alimony where she could get anything she wanted at any time, no questions asked. And that alimony was going to end if she got remarried. Well, she met this guy, and he was worth her marrying, even giving up all that. She didn't want to live in sin, And she's extraordinarily happy with this guy, and he's extraordinarily happy with her. They've been married now for several years, and when I think of couples that are truly happy, I think of them. They are really into each other. And she told me her secret of getting this guy who had never been married in her age range. What did she get him to do to commit to her? She didn't have sex with him until after they were married. I was like, really? I was shocked to hear this because, people in their 40s not having sex before marriage, it's like, everyone knows that it's something that, younger people might do and people who are super religious might do, but I didn't even consider it. And then I started thinking about this, and I'm like, does it make sense? Because women of a certain age start to become non-committal too. They have their own life, they have their own money, they have their own stuff. They don't really need a man. So they want a man specifically to make them happier than they are when they are alone, which can be hard. He has to be like more fun, more exciting than she can find without him. So that's a tall order sometimes, right? And even if a guy comes along and he provides a woman with this great companionship and fun and excitement, and he's loyal and steadfast and good in bed and all these things, she still may not want to commit, right? Why? I don't know. For the same reason as, guys who seem like they've already been married and divorced, and if they don't want to commit, it's usually because they feel like they were wronged somehow by their ex-wife, and they feel kind of still angry at women, maybe afraid of taking another chance, that kind of thing. Now, a woman might not want to commit, and she's never even been married. She's never had someone really do her so wrong that she just couldn't get over it, or you know, financially screw her over or any of this stuff. None of this has happened. She's just non-committal. And I'm thinking, could a guy get a woman like that to commit to him, to settle down by withholding sex? I'm not saying there's no extreme foreplay. There's probably a lot of extreme foreplay, verbal foreplay, imaginative foreplay, right? All of that. But there's no intercourse. Could he get her to commit? I think so. I think so. I think it would work. I think it's one of the few things that would be dependable. So tell me what you think. Can a woman get a man to commit to her in that way? And can a man get a woman who's non-committal to commit to him that way? Would it work, in your opinion? And I mean, is it manipulative, or is it sort of taking the rubber band and pulling it back really far and seeing how far it'll snap? You know, the further that rubber band is pulled, sort of the more exciting you could say that the snap might be. I don't know. It would build everything up. And this is coming from someone who, yes, made a video on rethinking the dick pic. Yeah, I did. And I think you could figure out, if you're not a virgin, you've had sex before, through foreplay and a lot of other mutual pleasure type things, whether you'd be sexually compatible without actual penetration. I think you could figure it out. I think you could definitely figure out if there's a premature ejaculation problem or an erectile dysfunction problem or any of that stuff. You would find out. If the penis is just not for you, you'd find that out, and vice versa. If the woman is just not for you, you would figure that out. So I think it's possible. I think all of this is possible. And when she was saying that, she was telling me, and then we had the same conversation, but this time it was involving a girl who's in her late 20s, who's really a very, I think, one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in my life, and a wonderful, bubbly, sweet, great personality. And this girl really wants to get married, and she wants to have children. She wants children more than anything. It's sort of her life's dream, you know? One of those people who you know is going to be a great mom because it's her life's dream to have kids. And she's not getting guys to commit to her. And this woman was telling her, just don't sleep with them. And I was like, this could actually work in this day of push a button and watch. I mean, let's see, you go on the internet and you find porn when you're just looking for something else. It just shows up, right? So it's kind of like there's nothing really that intriguing about porn anymore. And then there's a lot of couples now who are in relationships, and they used to be called swingers. Now they're called polyamorous or open relationship people, you know. And they're sort of using other humans kind of as sex toys because they're not using their mind to explore deep intimacy with the partner they're with, maybe, you know. Or maybe they are, and maybe that's just something they both agree on. I don't know. But I think it takes a lot of imagination to be dating someone for a while and not have sex with them, technical sex, you know, until you're married. I think it takes more creativity, more imagination, and it could be like the old-fashioned way is the new-fashioned way, you know? So I just wanted to talk about that, bring that to light, and let me know what you guys think about it. I really would love to hear some thoughts from both males and females on this subject. Thank you for watching. Live a great story. Please like, please share, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. I'm trying to grow this channel very fast. And then. Have a wonderful day. Bye.